So this video is going to be about all the games we never got a chance to review and thought they didn't really deserve our full attention, but deserved to be mentioned. Not really, but we have nothing else to record about.
Yeah.
So we'll be starting in 3, 2, 1. Old Monte Cristo here.
I'm Wolfen Wizard.
Who forgot to take his cap off.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice mine never goes back on? Because I know that's going to happen. So today, we're going to go over some titles that came out previously this year and give you a quick review.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with a simple one. Sniper Elite 3 for Xbox One, PS4, 360, PS3, and maybe PC. I don't know.
I think it was.
Okay, and PC. Ooh, PC question mark. Anyway, and for Nintendo 3DS. It's definitely not. Anyway, game was okay.
It was, imagine Mortal Kombat X-Rays and the first-person shooter put together.
Third-person shooter.
Third-person shooter.
It's all about the sniping, baby. Not really. You do have secondary weapons, like assault rifles and then pistols. I preferably go with a sniper rifle and a silenced pistol, though, because once those walk around, pew, 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 then get into that spot. Nut shot. I have so many nut shots that I'm probably not going to play one here for you. Just nut shot for days. That's the only kills I go for. And then the occasional for the dome, you know? Like, if I shoot him in the nuts and they're like, I'm still alive, then I'm like, well, then somebody probably shot him off before. You don't like this? You don't like my nut shot stories? I got yelled at from a person because they were like, dude, you have too many nut shots on your Xbox. And I'm like, there's not enough.
Did you get the collector's edition, by the way?
No, I didn't get the collector's edition.
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't. the game is okay. It's fun, you know. Definitely wait till it marks down a little bit. Unless you're really like bored, buy it pre-owned. You know, whatever. Do what you need to do. It's a good time killer. That's about it. I gave that 7 out of 10 for Sniper Elite.
I'll give it 7.5 because it's definitely a step up from the other ones.
Yeah. So okay. Next game. I couldn't shut down the power. Watch Dogs.
Nah, it's just touch the button.
Yeah, that game sucked.
Garb Dogs?
Garb Dogs. No,
Garb Dogs?
in all honesty,
Garb Dogs?
Let me
That game sucked.
if that game would have came out right before Christmas when it was supposed to, and that hype didn't build up more than it was supposed to, it would have been, oh, that was a decent game. Needs to be improved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the next one should be really good because Ubisoft always releases like their new IPs. Usually, the first ones, you're like, I see the potential here, but it failed. And then the sequel is usually better.
There's no future potential for that, though. That's done. Like that's dead in the water right now.
Well, they're still making the movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
That'll be better because Mark Wahlberg's in it. I hated Aiden Pierce. He is. I'm like, why? I don't want to play as you. I'd rather play as that random person walking down the street.
That NPC over there. I'd rather play as him.
He's probably more interesting.
Yeah.
The graphics were okay. Well, they're better on next gen than they were on the 360.
Those graphics were subpar and inconsistent. Some of the All right. So, okay, I'm driving through the city, and I see...
Wait, you could actually drive?
Yeah, I could drive after an hour of learning curves. So I could drive. Mind you, that game was hard as fuck to drive. So I'm driving, and then I'm like, man, the graphics are kind of nice. I go into the cutscene, and it looks like I'm playing fucking Grand Theft Auto Vice City on my PlayStation 2.
It felt like... You know what? When you think back at it, it feels like some of the parts were done with good graphics. And then other parts were like...
just like thrown in there like last second.
Which I think that might have been with the delay.
I don't know. But the game just was a disappointment within itself.
Yeah, so, I mean, Watch Dogs, I give it a 5.5 out of 10.
I agree with that. I'll give it a 5.5, too.
Because it did have its awesome moments. It did have a lot of good ideas. But Ubisoft either got to rethink the game in general and just make a whole new IP with some of those ideas. Or if you make a Watch Dogs 2, you remove Aiden Pierce and you make the game good.
Or just don't be fucking scumbags.
Yeah, don't.
That's another thing you could probably do.
Yeah, don't
Ubisoft.
delay a game less than a month away, dude. It was not even a month away, and they delayed it. No, so again, 5.5. What other games were there that we didn't have? Killzone.
Yeah, Killzone. I like that one. I like it personally. Do you still own that, by the way?
No, I played it very little. I would have to break it down into a double review because I feel like it was two different games in one. The multiplayer and the single player didn't deserve to be on the same disc. Because I felt the single player, when you played it, you're like, it showcased the PS4's graphics, like what it could do.
Mm-hmm. It did, 100%.
I was blown away. I didn't expect it to be that good. So I was like, oh, wow, these are
It was
really
the
good.
best part, too, because that was the first game I got what my PS4 was Killzone.
So you got to see the graphics.
I was like,
so I was blown away. But then I played the multiplayer, and I was like, wait. I wasn't expecting the graphics to be as good, but they were like year 2 or 3 PlayStation 3 graphics. Not horrible, but they didn't. It didn't feel next gen. It wasn't equaled out. Like at least again, bear with me here. When Call of Duty Ghosts came out, the multiplayer graphics were pretty much
consistent
with single
it's
player.
Not.
I'm not saying they're great, but I'm saying it's all about consistency.
Yeah, they're consistent,
but it's still bad.
Yeah.
That was just an example of I'm talking about consistency. Or Battlefield. The Battlefield multiplayer graphics were good. On next gen, I played.
That's just because Frostbite.
It thrives off next gen. It's like a virus on your system. It's like I need this.
But
yeah,
Snowdrop is soon to take that over.
I would say like the Killzone single player.
Amazing.
Definitely, I would give it a 7.5 and 8. But then I would say the single player. I mean, the multiplayer was like a 3.
I played a little bit more. I'd say I'd give it a 6. And it hurts me to say, but when I was playing that campaign, there was a lot of holes in the beginning and a lot of just stuff like, wait, why are you skipping this? How about you explain? It was very weird.
I can make sense.
Yeah.
If I added both scores together, the game gets like, what? Because the 3 for the multiplayer, it drops down to what, a 5 or a 6 total.
Mm.
So, like, again, needs work, but...
Yeah. There is a DLC, though, which I might pick up. Killzone, there's a DLC, the 4-player co-op. I think it's a survival co-op, so, be on the lookout for that if you own Killzone right now.
Yeah. Then what else was there? There was Knack. I'm just going to skip that. I'll mention it, but I'm going to skip it. I think that's everything. Oh, Transformers.
Ew.
That gets a 1.
Ew.
Hands down, a 1. A 1. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you why or anything. I think it's a 1, though.
That game's so bad they gave away free movie tickets with it. And it's not even free movie tickets. They cover, like...
90%.
Yeah, 90% of the charge. That's so bad. Like, come on, man. If you're going to give me, like, a coupon for a ticket, just pay for the full thing.
Yeah, at least the Spider-Man game gave them... Oh, yeah, Spider-Man game. That's another one. Spider-Man game gave a few movie tickets that actually paid for the whole ticket. But that movie bombed.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, right?
Yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That game, 5 out of 10. Way better than Transformers. But the first Amazing Spider-Man was good just because it was good. And the second one was pretty much a copy and paste. So that automatically drops down the score. And there were a lot of issues with it, so... And
especially you got screwed over on some achievements.
Yeah, the achievements system broke on that game on Xbox. I was really mad at that game. But the game was good, but the storytelling was so messy and gross. And then when I heard about the movie and how the story was in that, I was like, it makes sense then. I pretty much saw the movie via the video game.
To be or not to be?
That is the question. Oh, that's everything. Is there any other games? Should we use this time to talk about Wii U games?
Wii U Honta des.
Mario Kart, 10 out of 10. Super Mario 3D World, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, fuck you. Out of 10.
8.5.
You'll get an 8.5, but fuck that game. That game is... Fuck. Nah. That game is too hard.
Yeah, very hard.
I don't even think the people that made that game can beat it. They're probably stuck on the first world too. Shit. What do we do here?
Wait, what are we doing? Why are we doing this right now? Yeah, that game. I don't know how I feel about that. It's pretty bad.
Is there any other games that you played that you want to talk about?
What else was there?
Well, you're thinking Lego The Hobbit.
Yeah, that was
That's
great.
a 4 out of 10. I've played a lot of Lego games, and that one was probably my least favorite.
Such a shame too. Like I thought it was gonna be like amazing. And then
Yeah.
the cover art is nice on that.
Yeah.
I like the cover art on that.
But side note, Lego the movie, one of my favorite films of all time. That I didn't believe it'd be that good.
Everything is awesome.
Buy it today on Blu-ray, DVD, or digital.
Buy it now.
Oh, Valiant Hearts,
Valiant Hearts, yeah.
the download game. That was good. It was UbiArt. They
Blue
did
Estate.
Blue Estate. Blue.
Blue
Alright,
Estate.
so Valiant Hearts, made by UbiArt, Rayman Games, and then Child of Light, 10 out of 10. And I saw John playing that the other day. by the way.
9.75. John played Child of Light?
I saw him playing on PS4. It must have been a demo.
Like John?
John.
Like the
Talassian,
Talassian?
yeah.
Huh.
So,
That's weird.
it was really good. I don't think it was my favorite UbiArt game because with the Rayman games and Child of Light, the one big thing they had was replayability.
Child of Light.
Child of Light.
Child of Light.
Child of Light. Valiant Hearts is you beat it, you might go back to the levels, get the collectibles that you missed, but you're just running through it to get them, and then you're done. There's no new game plus. There's no like, oh, I want to play that again. I would say it's probably their deepest story they've done because Rayman doesn't really have story. It was just senseless fun. That's why the game was amazing. And Child of Light was very, very good story, but you could tell they put an even focus on everything.
Yeah.
This game they put just enough of everything they've done so far to make the gameplay good, story good, but that story was so deep. It takes place during the First World War, and
Yeah.
it's intense. So I definitely recommend checking it. It was an 8 out of 10, but it's my least favorite UbiArt game. But that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, like I say, emphasize that it's not a bad thing because it's a really touching story.
Yeah, it's one
Yeah.
of those games you play it for the story.
Dude.
But yeah, that's I think we touched most of the games. Oh, and Blue Estate, it's a
Blue Estate.
first-person on-rail shooter
That
like
game's raunchy as hell.
like House of the Dead. It's
game's raunchy as hell.
it's a 6 out of 10, but it's a good 6 out of 10. Like
Raunchy as hell.
the DualShock 4 when you use it as the aim and everything, it's awesome.
I thought you put it on Xbox.
Yeah, it's on PS4. It's a PS4 exclusive.
Oh, I thought it was
Xbox won't have that maneuverability.
I thought a Nintendo Wii U, Hyrule Warriors. Are you getting that? Yeah. They're announcing a lot of characters recently, like especially like Sheik. They just
I'm
released
saying
Sheik.
Ganondorf. He's gonna be the last one they announced. Ganondorf has to be a playable character.
He might be bonus DLC content.
No, that's a sell point. That's
You
a
think?
sell point. Yep.
But they never even announced like who they're fighting against or what they're
Exactly.
fighting for.
It's gonna be a whole new enemy. Brand new
Well, I think,
enemy.
no. I think they did actually. I'm sorry. I think they did. It's some witch, I believe. So I don't even think it's Ganondorf they're fighting against. So who knows? Ganondorf could be a playable character.
It would make sense. Or when you beat the game, like Ganondorf is the boss again.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the game, you unlock him. He's gonna be a playable character one way or another, though.
You know what the first thing I might get when I get a Wii U again? Nintendo Land. Those were fun times with that game, dude. Those were fun, especially the Legend of Zelda thing.
Yeah, I got rid of it because that's a party game.
Yeah.
That's not by yourself game. But it's
No,
one of those games that you get rid of and it doesn't hurt your wallet to buy it again.
Yeah, I would definitely buy that again. Especially if I have people over, like, buy a couple Wiimotes, some nunchucks, and just Nintendo Land. It's a good time.
It is.
Oh
It's a
my
very good
God.
time. Nintendo Land, that game gets, honestly, an 8.5 out of 10.
That game's amazing.
It's
It's got a little bit of everything. Co-op,
single player.
multiplayer. The Luigi's Mansion one. Were you there when we were playing
Yeah,
that?
that's
Luigi's
intense.
Mansion.
They
Oh my
used
God,
to
dude,
utilize the Wii U
gamepad.
gamepad. Oh my god.
And then you can only
Animal
see...
Crossing too.
Yes. That was amazing.
Nintendo figured out a way to stop screen watching.
Yes, they did,
Because
actually.
remember, you were like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
why,
yeah.
why did pause the game?
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
it was like, look at your camera. Because on the gamepad, you have the camera on there. And
yeah, and it senses that you're looking.
so when you have the thing, you're playing there, you can only see you on here. And on the TV, they can only see themselves. People trying to chase you, so you're the chaser on the thing, and the person on the TV.
So you can see yourself and everything else. They can only see themselves on the TV screen.
Right, but you have to find them still. So when you look up, you can see where they are. So the first, I don't even think you're cheating. You're just looking up to look up, and all of a sudden the game just paused.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah, it's like, look at me.
I was like, next gen?
Yeah.